Hello, how we doing? Well, can you hear me? Thumbs up if you guys can hear me. How we doing? Rob here. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Just looking at the chat here, just confirming that you guys can hear me. Love the view. How far away is spring in Nova Scotia? Here in Georgia, it's almost summer. Yes, Stephanie, it's technically spring now, and it looked like it a couple days ago, but now it's full of snow out there. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to stick around very long. So, yeah, thanks for joining me today. I got a special guest lined up this time. If you guys saw the thumbnail, you probably know. But before I get to him, let me just, a couple of housekeeping things I want to get through. Creators Growth Project. That is starting, the next class is starting on Monday. We still have 2 spots left. If anybody is interested, there should be a link in my description below where you can click to apply for that. What else? YouTube Kickstart Kit. If you're looking for some free tools and help getting your YouTube channel started, help getting your first videos made, I've got a YouTube Kickstart Kit that you can download for free. It's description or link also in the description. There's a YouTube stats tracker down there. There's Creators Cove you can join for free. And of course, I offer one-on-one coaching as well. All right, that's all done. How's everybody doing today? And where are you watching from? And what would you like to know? If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them. You can put QQQ in the chat in front of or after your question, because I'll search on those. And you can ask questions to me or to Liam. So Liam, my son, actually, let's bring Liam in right now. If I can remember how to do this. I think it is this one. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Not too bad.
Can everybody hear Liam? And am I too loud, Liam?
You sound good to me, but relative to my voice, I'm not sure.
It sounds good to me. Just waiting for some feedback from you guys. Can you guys hear everything all right? I'll assume you can. There's a yes from Frank. How you doing, Frank? Steve Brocky, yes, cool. Wow, we got 84 people in here already. Oh, okay. So how's it going? Liam, what's new?
Not too much. Not too much. I'm working on my my YouTube video for my big YouTube comeback. I stopped making videos a year ago, maybe. I had a 4-video run or something like that, then dropped it. So I'm trying to pick it back up again. I just finished rendering it and started the upload to YouTube.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you were in the right place. I think there's a lot of people in here who would love to start a YouTube channel or have given it up for a while. So why did you give it up for a while? You gave it up for a year and now you want to get back into it. What's the story?
I honestly felt like I ran out of ideas. Like I didn't know what to make a video about next, and the motivation just completely died for me. But since then, I've thought a lot about it, and now I feel like I have a good set number of ideas that I can run with for now. But I find it's difficult to consistently have ideas and constantly push them out without having that dip of no uploads for a year while you think of more ideas, I guess.
Well, I've gone through the same thing you're talking about. I gave it up for, I think, 3 different times. I think you remember when I started. You remember when I started?
I do.
Was I talking about it a
while
lot?
ago. You were talking about it a lot.
Yeah, no, I wanted to do it for a while, and I gave it up quite. I mean, it's normal. It's normal to quit because you don't see the results that you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, see, I do stream like every day pretty much on Twitch, but that's just playing games with my friends. It's not a good way to grow on social media so much. Like you kind of need to have a hook somewhere else before you can go somewhere with the streaming, or you need to be like crazy and wild on live stream, which is just not something that I do. But I do that regularly, so I'm always surrounded by the equipment required to make YouTube videos. I just don't really put it to use in that way. So I'm trying to be better at that, I guess.
I wonder if it's a generational thing. Like I mean, you kind of grew up, but like when did you start streaming?
Started streaming when I was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
So like 12 years ago.
12 years ago. Okay. Well, I started about
Yikes, I
four
don't have
years
the
ago.
numbers to back that up.
Yeah. Do you still have your original streams? Oh, wait, now, no. When you started streaming, you did it on Twitch, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's how you still do it?
It's the same account.
Right. Oh, okay. So can people go
Yeah,
on and
and
see your 12-year-old streams?
I took a lot of that down. I do have YouTube videos though. I made YouTube videos even earlier on than that. Um, and I used to do something called speed arts, which is when you record your screen, use Photoshop, mess around with images, like make crazy stuff, and speed up the footage of you working on what you're working on in Photoshop. And
Okay.
it was kind of like a fad thing at the time. But I made a bunch of those, and that was kind of like my first YouTube. And I have all those. I think I have them privated. And a lot of my older YouTube videos that are even on my current channel are privated. This channel I have now has been going for at least 10 years.
10
I just
years.
haven't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've been at it twice as long as I have as far as streaming goes.
Yeah.
Somebody was
Not
just
no consistency though.
no consistency. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you do it for different reasons too. You're doing it for fun. It's not really your job, I guess.
That's the thing. Yeah. I don't. I find once you have to be consistent with it, the fun goes away a little bit. But I feel like there's. I mean, it's probably better than working a day job though. So I feel like it's definitely worth exploring in terms of trying to maintain a level of consistency for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Somebody was asking for your channel, so I actually Scott beat
Oh
me
yeah.
to it, and then I put a link in there as well. See if you get any subscribers out of this. So why don't you tell us what is your YouTube channel about?
I have no idea right now. I do so right now I'm just up the I guess this is the game plan is I'm uploading videos about things that I'm interested in. So I've
Yeah.
tried making a tutorial video, just setting up a video game server for a game called Counter-Strike, letting people set that up on their own computer instead of using the computers at wherever the game is hosted.
Yeah.
I also made a video of how to replace a battery in a handheld. I had it here in a handheld gaming system.
Yeah.
Another tutorial, just more hardware instead of software tech. And the one that I'm uploading today is more of a review on this little handheld thing. And it kind of looks like a Game Boy, but
Okay.
or like a Nintendo DS, but it's an Android device. It's kind of rare right now. They're in pre-order stages.
Yeah.
So I figure if I'm still one of the first to have it, I may as well review it and show it off a little bit while people wait for theirs.
Cool. Cool. So
Yeah.
like tech review. Do you find it hard to make videos like that? Like time consuming?
A little bit. I find I'm a bit of a perfectionist with the editing a little bit. I get lost in that. And I lose track of time. Like I was up till like 3 a.m. last night working on the video and I just didn't even realize. But yeah, I also find it hard to like look into the camera and speak to nobody. Like I can do this, like the live stream thing I do every day. I'm just
Right.
talking to you.
Yeah.
But when there's no one on the other end of my headphones, that's when I'm just like, what should I say now? I don't know. And I included a little bit of the awkward bits in my video that's uploading right now. Kind of like what you do at the end of yours with bloopers. But
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I find talking to the camera very hard, and I find it hard to structure my videos. I find I ramble about the topic that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the biggest, I guess, the biggest barriers for me right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Rambling is a thing. I guess like the videos I've seen of yours, I love them, by the way. They're really cool. They're well done. A lot more editing involved than what I do. I would find it very hard to make that type of video, but I think you've told me that you enjoy that. That I guess your favorite part of it. You like the editing?
I do like the editing. I find I can add extra comedic value through editing that I don't naturally bring to the camera. So I can do a lot of heavy lifting with the editing, and I enjoy that part because I make it in a way that I find funny. So I just end up finding my own videos funny.
Well, that's cool. No, I noticed that too. I know your use of humor, like you would your latest video, I think you said something and there was music playing in the background, but then you stopped the music as you kind of said, "Wait, did I say that right?" And you didn't. then you corrected yourself. I don't know, just the way you did that was,
Mhm.
I found funny. And it's kind of, I've seen that kind of thing done before, but it takes some work to do that.
It does. Yeah, you definitely, there's a lot of chopping up and a lot of like cuts to zoom in and zoom out and cutting of the music. And
Yeah.
there's, I end up in, I use Premiere Pro, but I end up with like 4 or 5 different layers of video channels stacked on top of each other. It
Yep.
gets pretty hectic in my workspace, but um, yeah, I guess that's another thing that we could probably talk about is the software I've been trying to use. I tried to get into DaVinci Resolve
Okay.
because Adobe is kind of evil as a company. They just like they make you pay to unsubscribe to their subscription.
Really?
They basically with fine print they lock you into a subscription. So they say we'll give you a discount on this monthly subscription, but you have to promise us you're paying all year. So when you
Oh, okay.
don't complete that full year and cancel on the right month, they say, "Oh no, that's not the fine print says this, so you got to give us $50 to cancel." It was a whole thing. They got
Okay.
better at it. Just
Yeah.
recently, I subbed to the wrong thing, unsubbed, and they gave me a full refund. So I think they're taking the hint.
Okay.
Anyway, I tried DaVinci Resolve, and the hurdle of new editing software is insane. Like I already don't know Premiere that well. Like I've used it a lot,
Yeah.
but the updates and everything roll in, and I don't use it every day or anything. But
Yeah.
I find my first YouTube video back in a year, I had enough hurdles to jump over, let alone the editing software. So I jumped right back on that Adobe subscription.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah, I didn't realize that about the subscription. I still have an Adobe subscription because I use Audition. I use their audio
Mm.
program. Um, and I know I've been saying this for probably 2 years now. That's how much money I've wasted. But I know what I do with Audition, I can do with Audacity, which is a free software program. I just haven't. It's just one of those things. When you get used to using a certain, program, it's hard to switch.
Yeah, big time.
All right. Well, why don't I, instead of us doing all the talking, we can get into some questions. And just to kind of fill you guys in, Liam is a software developer. Okay, so he knows a little bit about this stuff, tech, and he's got his opinions on stuff. He's 30 years younger than I am, so he's going to have a different perspective on things like YouTube and AI. Actually, yeah, AI. So it's almost, so just so you know, Liam, and I think you do, but most of the people that watch my videos and are here on my channel tend to be over 40, 50, 60, 70, and so on, older than you.
Yeah.
So would have probably different perspectives on things like AI, even YouTube and the types of videos that they like to watch. Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about AI and what you see happening? Like maybe, I don't know, what's happening in your world with AI, or where do you see it going? Do we need to be worried?
Yeah, so absolutely. AI or AI as we know it right now are typically language models, large language models,
Yeah,
LLMs, if you've heard that before.
yeah,
And it's basically programmed to turn what you are saying into calculations and then use statistics to figure out what the correct response to that is or what the most likely response to that would be, what you just said.
okay,
Now, as it's evolved, it's starting to take into account like internet searches and just scanning of information way faster than humans can. So that's why it can write papers, it can code. Those are its strong points.
yeah,
But now, recently, there's a new thing called OpenClaw, which basically you can say, all right, AI, take my entire computer and do whatever you want with it. And it's very dangerous
sounds
if you have
scary.
anything, any personal information whatsoever on your computer. I wouldn't recommend doing it without a virtual machine of some sort or a computer you've never logged into anything on,
Okay,
because it's unpredictable is what I've gathered. I've never tried it myself, but it seems unpredictable. Anyway, I feel like that's a bit outside the scope, but AI definitely is a huge jump in technological advancement. I don't think it's a bubble. People are calling it a bubble, but it actually is that good. Like it's not, it doesn't seem that good, but it's not in reality. Like it actually is that good. It's writing code. It's doing months worth of work in a single prompt. Like it's
Yeah.
just insane. The level of accuracy it has now. Like there was once a time where I'd have coding problems that were too difficult for AI, so I'd have to go through myself and figure it all out and find the problem.
Okay.
But I've not seen AI like mess up in that way, given the right prompt, uh, in like a year. So
Wow. So it
yeah.
sounds like it's important to get the prompt right. Is that right? That's going to become, I almost see that as being a skill that someone has to learn, like how to ask it the right questions.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people kind of look at it in that way, and I've seen people try and almost monetize prompts, like
Yeah.
doing the whole selling the pickaxes for the gold rush sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't see a ton of value in that. Like it's designed for you to communicate with it. Like if you can speak English and communicate clearly what you want, then you should be okay. Or actually, it probably handles multiple languages, not just English. But
Yeah.
if you can speak clearly and communicate what you want exactly, that should be fine. You'll see a lot of people saying that they can hack it by typing in special characters and doing things like that.
Yeah.
I don't put much weight into that. And if people are actually doing that, it's getting patched almost same day. They're pushing out updates for these models
Yeah.
like within 30 minutes of each other.
Wow. Okay.
Like it's moving that quickly.
Wow. So what do you think of this? So like I feel like some people will open up, say ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, and have a conversation with it. I do that. I use it a lot for help with titles and thumbnail text and ideas as well. Um, but I feel like almost like I fall into the trap of thinking that it's a person that I'm talking to, right? It can't think, can it?
Well, at that point, you have to start defining what think is.
Right?
Um, like
Like you mentioned something, you
no,
said it's doing calculations. Like it's not.
it's doing calculations. I mean, you can get really philosophical with this. Like the way a human brain works is it takes input through your five senses and then gives output through however you behave,
Right.
whether you speak or with an action or whatever.
Yep.
And that's essentially what's happening here. It's a bit of a black box. It's something goes in, something happens on the inside that you're not really sure, and it spits something out. And this is where the Turing test comes into play. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. It's
I
coined after
have.
Alex Turing.
I
Is it
have, but I forget
Alex
what it is.
or Alan?
Alan
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Turing.
Yeah, he was a computer scientist during World War II. He deciphered the Germans' code or something, and he played a big part in the war and winning the war. But basically, the Turing test is if you have a robot that can. The test is to check if a robot can trick a human into thinking it's a human by communicating with it. So if
Run
it
that by me
passes
again.
the so if you're speaking to a computer, typing to a computer, and it's responding to you,
Yeah.
passing the Turing test would be that computer convincing you that it's a human
Okay.
instead of a computer.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, to answer your question, whether or not it's thinking, no, it's not thinking. But it's emulating thinking uh, to the closest degree that we have been able to do, aside from literally making like miniature brains out of cloning technology and things like that.
Right. But ultimately, it's referring to data, I guess, on the internet to be able to formulate and get its answers and give them back to you, right? That's kind of the way to think about it. Like if there's some
Yes.
incorrect information on Google and you ask it a question, it can give you that incorrect information, right?
Right. Yes. And actually, so here's a tip actually for people watching that might be using something like ChatGPT. As you communicate with AI in a session, let's say you're in a ChatGPT session,
Yeah.
the longer you keep that conversation going, the dumber it gets. You have a what's called a context window, and
Yeah.
so it will remember what you've told it as you go. And as that fills up, it will start to chug and struggle and kind of put more weight into the context it has than its own model.
Okay.
So you want to be refreshing that. And what you can do actually is you can say, hey, I'm going to switch sessions. Can you summarize this conversation so I can provide a brief context to the next session?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. All
So
right.
just
Interesting.
a trick for anyone out there who might be running really long sessions with AI.
There.
In the coding tools, you see a percentage, like a percent utilization of your context window. It tells you, but I don't think it does. Or actually, it might in ChatGPT as well, in the bottom left under your text. But yeah, yeah, someone just had a recall. Yeah.
The recall.
But
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's I don't want to ignore everybody here we're up to 126 people here and we've got some questions. So let me pop some up on screen here. Steve, how you doing, Steve? And there's this question. Liam, you were on Twitch, I believe, still doing that, or is the focus YouTube?
I am still doing Twitch. I honestly do Twitch more for fun than anything. I'm always on my computer at night with my friends anyway. I literally just flick on the stream so that I can communicate with people that might want to watch. I have a few friends overseas that like to watch while I play games, and also it's a good like clipping strategy. Like if something cool happens in the game, I can go back into the VOD, the video on demand, after the stream and grab a clip.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. What do
Yeah,
you
but
think?
it's mostly a hobby thing.
Mostly a hobby
But
thing.
yeah,
Have you ever live streamed on YouTube?
I've tried it once and I find it a little strange. It just works a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it's not. It seems like it's more catered to this what we're doing here
Yeah.
more so than gaming. Like I know YouTube has a gaming section, and I think I like the way Twitch works a bit better, the way you can pass along your stream viewers through rating other streamers.
Okay, yeah.
And the subscription setup. Like I don't think I'm monetized on YouTube or anything, so
Yeah.
like I am monetized on Twitch, so people can subscribe, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There we go. What else? We got Frank asked what your channel was, and I think we put it in the chat. So Liam A6 is his YouTube channel. And so you want to check that out. Here we go. Dom says, just started my channel 35 days ago. I just turned 53 yesterday. Awesome, Dom. Sorry, that wasn't actually a question. Maybe there was a question after that, but congrats on getting started.
I do see a really good question here. Oh geez, it was moving so quick. Someone said, oh here, yeah, cycling with Cancer Creator. How long do you define a session with AI before you have to summarize? I don't know for sure. I've seen people online. I follow a lot of developers online on Instagram, and they say around 60 to 70%. You want to start thinking about summarizing and taking your session to another chatbot.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's another one. Lisa, how long is long when it comes to ChatGPT conversations before they become stale? What do you think, Liam?
Same question, basically. Yeah. So if you can see something that says context, or even just like a percent sign somewhere around the box that you're typing into, you want that. Once you get to around 60 or 70%, you want to think about shifting.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So, and here's another one. What do you say to folks my age, 40 plus, and older who may feel trepidation about the exponential growth of AI and the somewhat alarmist way AI people push the necessity of learning it? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's absolutely terrifying as a software developer seeing AI completely replace me. Now, it's basically, and this is the analogy I use. I'm a professional. I'm a professional that puts nails into wood, and they just released the hammer, so I'm shaking in my boots. And that's kind of how I try to explain it. You just have to learn how to use the hammer, and you'll be all right. So with AI, learning AI, it's not like learning how to use a hammer. It's you kind of just use it. Like use it in ways that makes you do what you want to do happen faster. The people that don't embrace, I guess embrace is a better word. You want to be embracing it rather than being scared of it and not wanting to like, I wouldn't even think of it as something like learning. Like software developers like me, I think I probably do need to learn AI to an extent so I
Yeah.
can maybe get into that side of the field.
Yeah.
But no, for the majority of jobs, you need to embrace it. You need to use it and not be afraid of it and help it help you, essentially.
Okay, that's good advice. Awesome. Yeah, I usually think about it like it's better to at least know what it is than to just kind of turn a blind eye and pretend it doesn't exist because you don't like it. Because then,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel it's just smarter to kind of. I mean, I use the term learn it, maybe not learn it, intimately, like know how to do everything about it, but at least, stay up on, advancements it's making and
Be
what
in
it
the
can
know.
do. And very good. Catherine's asking, which AI do you mostly use?
So for work, I used oh Cursor, the Cursor CLI tool. So what that means is it's a command line tool, and I can just type into a terminal and say, "Hey, there's a problem in this file, and it's not compiling properly. Can you fix it?" And it goes and does it. Now I believe it jumps between models. If I understand correctly, Anthropic's model, Claude, is really, really good for coding. But there's also ChatGPT that's good for, I mean, if you're just trying to talk to it and get it to help you with like everyday things, I guess, any of them will do what you need it to do. The only real difference I've found is if you're just talking to it and if you're asking it coding questions. Like that's kind of the big test that people
Right.
are running.
I have
And
heard
then you
that
also
Claude.
want to be, yeah,
Sorry.
Claude is kind of the ideal for coding. It's the Opus 4.3 or 4.2 model, I believe.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about privacy with these as well. You want to be avoiding models like DeepSeek, or maybe
Okay.
not avoiding, but it's just that one I believe was made in China, and there's some propaganda baked into that one. The same way there's propaganda baked into ChatGPT. It's just it's Chinese propaganda instead of North American propaganda. So
Right.
you see a lot, like if you ask DeepSeek anything about Taiwan, it'll just completely like blank out and say, "I don't want to talk about that right now," and it gets really awkward.
Okay.
So just something to consider. It's interesting how these companies kind of bake in their ideologies into these things.
Yeah.
Brings up a lot of ethical questions, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I mean when it comes down to it, it's almost a little bit like I don't know, maybe this is not, but what popped into my head is like which news channel do you watch? It depends on what kind of news you want to get and who you
I don't
believe.
think it's there yet, but it could go that way. If
Yeah,
enough companies pop up with these, yeah, they can start influencing AI models to propagate their ideology. Yeah.
right. Interesting.
Scary.
Interesting. Scary too, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Someone says, are you taking YouTube questions or only AI related today? We'll take any questions you have. So YouTube questions, absolutely. And we can get different perspectives on it. I can give my answers and Liam can chime in too. Is there something that the younger crowd would like to watch from us older peeps? Oh, there's an interesting question. What do you want to see from us, Liam?
Ooh.
Anything?
The thing with the younger crowd is our attention span is completely shot. Like if there's even a second of silence, gone. Like the doom scrolling, it's tough. It's tough to keep my generation's attention, and I'm part of that problem, I think. So honestly, if you're doing something someone your age would not do, that could do well. That would be my best guess. I don't typically watch older people on YouTube, but yeah, or honestly, I mean, I feel like I'm at an age now where it's not there's no like wow, like I don't look for wow factor sort of videos like people younger than me might.
Yeah.
I like your videos where you're just walking and talking and sharing your experiences
My
and
videos.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Those are my. I just listen to them while I work.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I figured
Yeah,
I
like
assumed you were
podcast style
watching
almost.
every one of my videos as a loyal son would
Okay.
do.
Okay. No, those I am. Those are my favorite. That's all.
Oh my. All right. What else we got here? let me go back up to the top. There were some other questions. Let's see. Okay, we answered that. I'm just having a problem scrolling here. Here we go. From Mark, planning my first live this weekend. 13,500 subscribers. Any advice? Great to see you both, Mark. What do you think, Liam? What advice would you give Mark? He's got 13,500 subscribers. He's about to do his first live.
Cool. I would honestly say don't be afraid to just go live. Don't make it like a big thing. Just turn it on and do whatever you want to do. I remember your first live actually that you did.
Yeah.
And you were just like, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to do. And you were like doing a lot of over planning, I found.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a natural response
Yep.
to over plan. But like for me, I'm hitting a button before I'm going to do what I was going to do anyway, essentially. That's the only difference. I hit a button, I keep an eye on my chat. And I think if you think about it that way, it makes it a lot less scary if you're someone who's nervous. Now, 13,000 subscribers, it sounds like they might make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So probably have no problem talking to the camera. But yeah, honestly, I would just recommend hitting the go live button, keeping your chat up, and have a plan just because it's your first live to do something. And keep the chat up and go from there. If you get chatters, kind of work off of that and try and build up some momentum. Otherwise, just have a plan to just whatever you're going to be streaming about, whether it's playing games or editing or something, just do it and talk to yourself.
Yeah, that's actually good advice. Talk to yourself. And something else you said is helpful as well. The fact that you press go live and then you just do what you were going to do anyways had you not hit go live. So that's how relaxed you are about it. I think maybe, and you also mentioned over planning, and I absolutely over planned because I wanted everything to be perfect. And of course it was not, but it's okay. It was, when I was finished, I was just over the moon that I actually did it. And, everything was fine. But
you survived.
I survived. Yes, I survived. And I think maybe if you make a channel where you're trying to teach something and you're trying to help people with something, maybe you feel like you have to be prepared. You have to know what you want to say. And I guess that's different than if you just are just going to talk about something. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making myself clear or not, but if you want to instruct on how to do something, I think you have to be more prepared than if you're just going to show up and talk, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, are you comparing streaming and making videos?
No, I'm thinking about streaming. I'm thinking about when I first streamed. The thing that I like, my streams now are mostly answering questions, right, and interacting with people. But when you start, there's nobody there to watch you, so you have to kind of carry the show by yourself. And so in my case, I decided to have a couple of video editing demonstrations ready to actually walk through and teach people how to do something. So in that case, I was thinking, well, I have to make sure I know how to do this before I try to tell other people how to do this thing, right? So it was, but I guess it depends on what content you want to live stream yourself doing.
Very true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do want to have a plan, especially if you don't have the privilege of having chatters where you can go, like you can talk to them, and like sometimes chatters can really carry the live stream.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, then you're on hard mode basically.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, it is. I used to have to prepare for a couple hours. I used to prepare for a couple hours in the mornings, even once I got going with live streams. But now I can just kind of like you, I can just show up, I can go for a walk and land back here 5 minutes before I go live and hit go live and have the intro countdown and ready to go, because there's people showing up here and you guys kind of carry the show. You ask me questions, I answer. So you make my job easier. All right. Let's see what else we got. Traveling with Russell says, could Liam enjoy doing how-to videos to restart the channel? Seems like his last video with 15,000 views is proof of concept. then over time they go evergreen. There's an idea.
Yeah, and I've thought about that. That's been one for sure. I was thinking about doing a video on self-hosting. I don't know if anyone here has experience with home labs, but that's basically having a computer in your house somewhere to store local files, whether that's home videos, your pictures on your phone to back up to. You can host websites just all locally and basically not using any outside services. So you would stop using like Google to host your website, for example. And I have a pretty good setup with mine using Docker. If there's any developers here that might know what that is. But yeah, I have a file all written up that someone could take and run on their own server computer, and it would spin up the same way that mine is configured, and I think it's a good configuration. So yeah, I've definitely thought about making a video. I was thinking about doing that next after this one gets uploaded, but we'll see. We'll see if I think of anything else. I would like to use. I just got. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can on the view there. I got a top-down camera specifically for reviewing hardware, or
Right.
so I would like to put that to use for sure. So I was thinking about maybe filming some shorts, maybe of just little things here and there. I don't
Okay,
know
yeah.
yet. Got a lot of
Yeah.
thinking to do.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, good suggestion though. I've definitely already been thinking about that sort of thing for sure.
Cool. All right. Let's. Here's another one. How do you get ChatGPT to deliver the exact size image that you need? Every time I use it, I give it specific pixel dimensions, and it never works. I ask for 1280 by 720, and I get 1080 by 720. Huh. I don't personally use ChatGPT to create images, so I don't know. Do you do that, Liam?
I've done it before, and I have found it a little buggy. It not giving you the resolution you're specifically asking for does sound like something that it would screw up to me.
Yeah.
To that note, I would say just grab the image and then go somewhere else to crop it, or not to crop it, but to change the resolution, to scale it down. As long as it gives you an image that's a higher resolution than 720p, you can always scale it down without losing any quality.
Yeah.
So there's always websites where you can do that. Just look up I don't know, online resolution changer or something along those lines. Or even if you have like the photo app on Windows 11 might be able to do it now. I'm not too sure. I use
Okay.
Photoshop, but
I
yeah.
think it's similar to like when I make my thumbnails, I take a screenshot using Max built in. You know, you just kind of click one corner and drag it, and there's a screenshot. And it's never going to be the exact right dimensions. But I then take that screenshot and I bring it into Canva, which is what I use to you know, manipulate images or create my thumbnails. And I usually have to stretch it, you know, to make sure there's no white space anywhere in the canvas. So if you're familiar with Canva or Photoshop, or doesn't Adobe have a more user-friendly one than Photoshop, like a scaled down version of
I think they have
Photoshop?
a mobile version of Photoshop. They have Lightroom, but that's for like color correcting photos and things
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
too sure on that. I've never used any of the mobile apps for Adobe.
Yeah. Yeah. And neither have I. And I know Canva you can use on a mobile as well. It has an app, but
Okay.
I've never used that. I need a
Canva's
bigger
probably
screen.
a nicer user interface then. Probably on the desktop as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. It's the only one I know, so it's really the only one I can talk about. I've
Okay.
been using Canva for years. But that's what I would do, Amy, in your case. If you have ChatGPT or whatever create an image for you and it's not the right size, I would open up Canva. I would create an image, like a blank canvas of 1280 by 720. I'd bring it in and I'd stretch it until it fills all the edges. All right. Dom from Montreal, can you tell your viewers how you view, and would you fight off analysis paralysis? I was stuck there 7 years. I started my channel 35 days ago. I turned 53 yesterday. Tell your viewers how you view and would fight off analysis paralysis. So I can talk about that a little bit. So analysis paralysis is basically you kind of freeze up. Well, just the word you use, Liam, just over planning or overthinking things, causing you to not get anything done. I think when I first started I think I created my channel in April of 2020, but then it was not until January of the following year before I made my first video. And it's just because I just wanted to get things perfect. I felt I needed it to look a certain way. I bought cameras, I bought lights, and I mean, you remember all that stuff. I mean, I still buy stuff that I probably don't need. But yeah, no, it's easy to fall into the trap. I guess the number one thing I'd say is if you can recognize that you're in analysis paralysis, like you're overthinking things to the point where you're not actually going out and doing something, that's the first step, recognizing that you're kind of doing that. And then, I don't know, just force yourself to make a video. I don't know how a better way to say that. Do you have any thoughts on that, Liam, at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I think, what's the saying? Um, Complete is better than perfect, or finished is
yeah,
better than perfect.
or yeah,
So
done
basically,
is better than perfect. I've heard that a lot.
done is better than perfect. Yeah, yeah. And it's very true. I've definitely been caught up in that myself. Just getting something out there and continuing to do it and building up, like you'll get better as you go. And if you're just getting started, you're not going to be in love with your first product. So there's really there, I mean, it's good to have something you're proud of, but at the same time, you need to know where to draw the line and to
Yeah,
move on to the next thing so that you can actually like reap some benefits for your work. Like you can see, like seeing those numbers, even if they're very small, is still kind of rewarding, I find, and it's fun, and it's a change of pace, especially if you've been stuck editing a video for a week or something like that, right?
yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Recognizing it and um, just do it. Done is better than perfect. That is so true. If I look back at my first videos, I hate them. Like they're horrible, and I. But that's okay. I kind of had to go through that to get to where I am now, right? Like there's no growth unless you try different things and you mess up here and there. And I've often said too, like I know creators who have created videos that have completely blown up and done extremely well, call it viral. But you know, they didn't have an extra they didn't use a mic. They just used like an old iPhone, or even actually I know somebody who used the webcam in their MacBook Air to make their first video, and they did great. So yeah, you don't, you know, would it look better with a better camera and would it sound better with a better mic? Sure, but you know, you can get there. I think the hardest skill to learn is just talking to the camera. So you know, I would work on getting good at that before you spend money on the equipment. That can come later. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see what else we got. What's going on in the chat? Did you see any questions there that pique your interest, Liam? I'm just searching through the QQQ questions.
Can you filter them,
With Ecamm
or do you
Live, I
just
can
scan?
search for any. I can search for. I type in QQQ, and then it only shows me those ones. The ones where people put 3 Qs in, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing one from Pressure Tester. Is there oh, there's AI in YouTube Studio. I'm guessing that it is Gemini. That would make sense. Yeah, Gemini
Yeah.
is YouTube's AI model. I think it's been mostly used for image generation, and that's where it's been excelling.
Uh-huh.
But that's all I really know about it. Yeah, on the coding side, I haven't seen much of Gemini. It's funny. There's a test that they run with AI models. It's a benchmarking test. They try and have a pelican, have it generate a pelican riding a bike in a web browser. They code it basically with
Okay.
CSS and whatever. And it's pretty hilarious. There's an article about it, and some of the generations are nightmare fuel. So definitely worth a read if you're interested.
Interesting. Yeah, I've not used Gemini myself. I admittedly have only really used ChatGPT, but I've been thinking about, you know, trying other ones just to kind of compare.
They were pretty slow to market compared to OpenAI and Anthropic. Anthropic actually came from OpenAI. Anthropic had some ethical concerns about OpenAI switching from nonprofit to profit, and
Okay.
so they made their own company.
Interesting. Interesting. Taki Yaz says, question for Liam. I'm curious what your backup workflow looks like. Do you rely more on external drives, cloud storage, or both?
So you clearly know what you're talking about, and you're gonna hate my answer. I have no backup whatsoever. I mean, Like I have files that would kind of suck to lose, but nothing that I would really lose my mind over. Like my most important things are I'm pretty deep into the Apple ecosystem and I do have iCloud.
Right.
So my messages, my photos on my phone. Um, I mean, I have some storage. Like I have SD cards sitting around with pictures of like trips and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I've zero backup whatsoever. Even my home server, like it's only one 14 terabyte hard drive. So hold up a magnet to that, and all my crap is gone.
Wait,
So
what's that? Say that again?
so I have all my information that's on my server
Yeah.
in my living room. It's on a single hard drive, 14 terabytes of information. Um, if anything were to happen to that one drive, it's all gone. It's not in like a RAID configuration or anything like that. There's no redundancy. It's literally if you hold up a magnet to a hard drive, it makes the hard drive stop working. So if someone were to do that, information gone. No backup, just shoot.
Wow. Okay. That would make
My
some
coding
people nervous.
projects, yeah, my coding projects are up in GitHub.
Right.
So that those are hosted somewhere else, and that's like that goes into like my resume and my portfolio. But no, other than that, I really am not terribly attached to much of the data I have. A lot of what I have on my drives is video games. I would be annoyed having to set up OBS again for my streams,
Right.
but I wouldn't. It would be fine. It'd just be a chore.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Anybody who knows what they're talking about in terms of backups and storage probably don't like that answer.
No, 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 that's not a good answer.
Let's see. I saw another question here. Here we go. University educator here, writing a course on computer programming for future business professionals. Liam, what would you say are must-have AI/machine learning topics for a 1 week unit?
Ooh,
There you go.
I would say probably network requests. Talking about network. So basically, when you write a program and you want to utilize AI in some way, it's kind of funny the way it works. You'd think it's more complicated than this, but it's really not, or at least not in the way that we used it a little bit at work. But you basically write out a prompt, a whole prompt, just in a string of information. You store it in a variable, just call it prompt, and then you fire it off to a server. So if you're teaching JavaScript or Python, if I assume a relatively high level language, if it's going to be a 1 week thing, yeah, go over network requests and how to send a prompt, how to do a post request over HTTP with with your prompt, and that way you can hit the API for the AI model you're trying to hit, and it'll spit back an answer. And maybe you can have them write their own ChatGPT wrapper, for example. So that you basically create your own app the way ChatGPT looks, but use ChatGPT under the hood. It's not it's called a wrapper when you wrap someone else's logic in your user interface, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
maybe a little outside of the scope
Yeah, it's
of
going a
this
little bit
live
above
stream.
my head, but she asked, so I'm sure it
No,
sounded like a
I
great
tend
answer
to
to me.
ramble about that stuff. Okay. That would be my recommendation. Yeah, I did computer science in university as well, and I wish they did higher level languages. I did Java, and it was really hard, and it made it really hard to kind of break into the software development space for me. So,
Right.
yeah, I would recommend, yeah, some basic syntax, high level language, and post requests.
Cool. I'm trying to remember. So you graduated several years ago. Where was AI then? Like, was ChatGPT even a thing yet when you were in university?
No, so AI existed. It was called the GPT model, and it would have been in its early stages, like GPT 1 or 2. I
Right.
think 3.5 was Chat GPT,
Okay.
and that's when it really skyrocketed. But yeah, no, I was writing those papers all by myself. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Today's students aren't writing them by themselves anymore, are they?
I I I don't know how you could. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to sit down and write the paper with AI right there on another monitor,
Yeah.
just whispering to me saying, use me to write your paper. Like it's like the devil on your shoulder. I don't know if I could resist.
Let's see now. Terry says, I'm using Claude and I love it way better than ChatGPT.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of times it is just a preference thing based on how you're applying it. So for coding, you'll have a lot more success with Claude. But it can also affect other areas as well. Like ChatGPT can be more of a yes man,
Yes.
and like you could tell it something awful, like I just shot and killed somebody, and then ChatGPT would say you are so in the right for this because they were bothering you or something. Like it would justify awful actions. Like it'll go that far.
Really?
It'll do some, maybe that's a, maybe it won't do go that far, but you could tell it some pretty ethically concerning things that you've done, and it'll be more of a therapist and try and calm you down and justify your actions to convince you to not be upset, rather
Okay.
than giving you a straight cold, because it's trying to be human. It's not trying to be right. It's trying to be a human.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to be a human. Interesting. Yeah. Um, Traveling with Russell says, not to be negative, but are you the educator or is AI now the educator? Oh, I think he was talking to the one who asked the last question he answered. Why even go to work at the university at all? Just live stream from home and put up a slideshow from AI. Yeah, I mean, who knows where AI is going to go, right? Like, it's going to replace jobs, 100%. And like you mentioned, Liam, coding jobs, right? If somebody doesn't need a whole team of coders anymore because they just have to become good at managing AI, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You end up in a product management position where you're using the product, like the software that you're trying to work on. You
Yeah.
find a problem, you create a ticket for it, you tell AI, here's a full description of the issue, here's where the issue probably sits. You can give it as much information or as little information as you want, but the more you give it, the higher the chances it'll fix the problem, and just have it go. And it's called, in this space, it's called running agents. So you have
Okay.
multiple agents, so multiple instances of ChatGPT, for example, or Opus or whatever, and you just have them all go on a different thing. And you can even fine tune each agent. You can have an agent that works on user interface design, an agent that works on backend database design, and you can just have them all go do their specialized thing. Um, and I mean, you could even have an agent to manage those agents and then just talk to one agent that manages multiple. Like it gets crazy. It gets really crazy.
Wow. And then
But yeah,
as all
software
these
developers are,
as
yeah,
all these LLMs, I guess, get even better, I guess that'll just all work better. I don't know. It's
yeah.
hard to
It's
know where
moving
it's
at a
going to go.
very fast pace. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a little unfair about ChatGPT. You can train it to be less positive, Mitch says.
You can train it under one session. So like within your context window, you can give it a prompt that where you really have it refined to what you want it to do. But I think at that point, if you get specific enough, you can make two models give you the same output. So
Right.
when you compare models, you compare what they'll natively do. If you open a brand new session with no context, it'll be that overly positive, overly like it'll do that sort of. And not to say there's nothing wrong with the Claude side of things. I find that I don't like using Claude for planning anything.
Okay.
I get it to do the straight up code, and I use ChatGPT for the planning.
Oh, okay.
But that's just because I like the way it lays it out better. Claude will give you just a page of text, and
Okay.
ChatGPT will give you the bullet points and the emojis and all that stuff, and it's just a bit nicer to read, honestly.
Lisa North says, those on here who use AI to write descriptions and create titles, what is your preferred AI? Well, I will, because I use it for that. I use ChatGPT, not because it's preferred, because I haven't actually gone and used Claude yet, or even Gemini. And I should. And I should compare them, and I should make a video about it. I don't know. Yeah. With what you know about these, Liam, what do you think in terms of writing descriptions, right? Like if someone makes a video, then they're going to want to write a description to put in the description field. They might want help coming up with a title for their video, and then they might want help coming up with the text to put on the thumbnail that goes well with the title, because the two of those things together are what helps sell the click, right? And try to get people to click on your thumbnail. So to try to figure out what's the best way to word things, I don't know, what would you use if you were doing that?
like I think it's completely subjective. Like
Yeah,
all of these models came from like it's a language model. So
yeah,
they're all handling language very well. They're all able to communicate very well, and they're all able. This is like the first step in a language model's um, progress is being good at things like this: descriptions, titles, just talking to you as well. Now, some will like you can have it go into detail about why it thinks that a title will outperform other titles and have it explain out to you, like break it down for you. But I really don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
yeah.
I think I did use ChatGPT's help a little bit for title generation. I'm not sure. Do you, like, maybe this is a question for you, but how important is a description on YouTube?
So what I've noticed is it's not really that important at all. A description,
Okay.
I feel like the description field and the tags field aren't as important as they used to be. And in fact, they might not be important at all in terms of, how your video performs. I've seen videos do fantastically well, viral videos with zero description. It even under description it says there is no description here, right? So nothing was filled in. Um, but the way I think about it is, back when YouTube was first started, keywords were everything. That's how you got found. That's how you got your websites found on Google, for instance. You would want to make sure, if you want to get found when somebody types in a certain set of words, if you want your website to come up, you would have to make sure that that set of words was throughout your web page, maybe in the title of the, in the, what do you call it? The metadata, right? Like the title of your web page. And there's a place to put in keywords, and all that stuff was so important. And when YouTube came out, it kind of used that same technology. That's how things got found. But now I just feel like, YouTube is transcribing all these videos within minutes of you uploading them. And they do that because they then will put the transcript in so that the closed captions will work. They will then take that, they'll translate it to other languages and all that stuff. So they have all the text. And I feel like YouTube probably knows a company. They probably have access to a pretty good LLM, right? Like probably Gemini, I would think. So they can use that to know what your video is about. They don't need you to put in keyword heavy descriptions and tags. Where I do think it's important, though, is what humans see. So if you want your video to be clicked, if you want someone to click on your thumbnail, that's going to be a human that's going to make that decision. So they're going to be reading your title. And so, you want it to be something that they will read, understand, and want to click. And same thing with the text you put on your thumbnail. So that's why I think those things are important. But the underlying keywords and tags that are kind of hidden under the hood, I don't think they're important at all. I don't know. Does any of that make sense to you, Liam, or am I just wishful
Yeah,
thinking?
that's no, no, no. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Typically, these companies have their own internal models that they use for specialized things like search algorithms.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if that's what they're doing. Yeah, tags like hashtags, like you don't see those really anymore. I mean, you do, but they're not as important as they used to be. Like it used to be, unless you have this hashtag, it won't show up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
and
think
that's
of
just not the
hashtags as
direction
like
it's going anymore.
I think of them as like a Twitter thing, and I never really got much into Twitter.
Mm.
Um, but some people do. Some people do use hashtags, and I guess maybe if you want to come up with your own custom hashtag, like I don't know, if I had hashtag peanut rocks or something that ties my video into me or something. I don't know. Or if I were to run a contest and I wanted people to if you want to write a comment, make sure you put in hashtag peanut rocks, and then you'll get entered into a contest or something. I don't know, for reasons like that maybe, but other than that, I don't think. But I see people putting in like 20 hashtags, and they're all just kind of listed, and I'm like, I don't think that helps.
Yeah, like the main use of hashtags now are for things like events, for example. Like if you go to HostingCon or something and you put hashtag HostingCon 2020 whatever,
Right.
you can see all the posts from that event or whatever, right? That's kind of the main use of it now. But there was once a time where people would try and use hashtags um, to sway the algorithm to promote their content more so than others.
Right.
And that's just the algorithm knows what you're doing. So it's yeah. I did see a question,
Yep.
not a question, but I see Russ Rocking Railroad said, just for laughs, I learned COBOL, Fortran, and Pascal programming languages when I was in college in the late 80s. These
Yeah.
are all obsolete now, of course. Will AI eventually make programming obsolete? To touch on your first point, I don't think those are obsolete. Like, I'm pretty sure they pay very well for a COBOL programmer for legacy code at banks, actually. The majority of those started with COBOL. I don't know if they've migrated away completely from those jobs yet, but I remember when I got out of university, there were listings for COBOL and they were paying like 200. So COBOL's a good one to know. And if you know it, I mean, and also if you know any of those languages, you would be programming circles around developers today with the modern languages, just with how much closer they are to English. Like, I have a feeling that would have no problem with modern syntaxes because it's only become easier to understand than those nightmare languages you listed there. So, and as for your other question, will AI eventually make programming obsolete? I think it will.
Really.
Yeah.
What happens if something happens to AI? Nobody will know how to code.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there comes a point like, what's that theory? There's a theory about technology with becoming so disconnected with how technology is made. Like, let's say everyone who knows how to engineer phones disappeared, and we
Yeah.
had to figure out how to make circuit boards again, or something like that. Like how many generations that would take to get that knowledge back again.
Yeah.
Just with how disconnected our society has become from the things that we use. Like there was
Yeah.
once a time where the majority of what you used, you either made it yourself or you knew how to make it and just paid someone else to do it because it's time consuming or whatever. Um, anyway, yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question.
Good
I
question.
think the majority of devs will be like what will happen to devs is they'll become project managers. They'll go in to fix something in like a responsive way instead of a reactive programmer rather than a proactive programmer. I'm pretty sure OpenAI just recently hired somebody or had a job listing basically for someone to sit around at a server and they unplug it when they get a call because they're worried that AI could start trying to influence like regime change in foreign countries.
Okay.
Like there's basically a dude sitting in a server room with a bucket of water and they say when you see this light go red, you throw the water on the server.
What?
I mean, I don't think it's that comical, but there are like damage mitigation employees to basically react in an emergent way to stop all power flow to servers that could basically go out of control. It's not a crazy thing to be scared of AI taking a step further than it should or going
Yeah.
too far.
I see Monkey Wrench here says AI is living off borrowed money. This is a bubble and will burst at some point. What do you think?
Ooh. I think that is a take. And it's not even that hot of a take. I mean, a lot of people do think that way about it. As someone who has experienced what it can do and how it can essentially replace what I do pretty easily, I'll have to disagree. It is AI is better at jobs. If you're sitting at a desk and using a keyboard, AI can probably do what you are doing, and
Hmm.
that's scary.
That is. It kind of reminds me back to like when I was, I guess, going through school, thinking back into the '80s, and people were worried at that time. I mean, I was pretty well versed with computers. I mean, I was kind of a geek, and I was interested in that kind of stuff more so than a lot of my friends. But the talk at the time was that, computers are going to take over people's jobs and or like machines, like not just computers, but like auto factories, right? today, a lot of the cars and trucks are made by robots, right, that are being controlled by computers. And that's well before AI, but I suppose AI is coming into that as well. Yeah, so I think back in the 80s, the concern was more like physical labor, people who were building things. Now they're building robots that can build those things. So labor jobs were being replaced, or that was the worry. But now it's like the desk jobs could possibly be replaced by AI. It's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought, and it's interesting too, because a lot of times, like you would think that once we got to a perfect society where we had robots working jobs, they would work the mundane jobs that people don't want to work. They'd be collecting garbage. They'd be
Yeah,
doing like hard labor, things that are very taxing on your body.
yeah,
But you're seeing AI be used to generate art and to make music,
yeah,
and like replacing the most human jobs, the jobs that people are passionate about. They're using AI because it's a good benchmark to show you, like, look how close I have come to creating a human with a robot in terms of how it behaves and what it can do.
yeah,
Um, so we could end up in a horrifying society where we have AI doing, like, making all of the money you can possibly make from doing all the most fantastic jobs you could imagine, while humans are collecting garbage and doing all of the mundane taxing jobs. And it's a bit of a scary thought.
yeah, yeah. I had a thought, but as is normal, I've lost it. That happens to me quite a bit. That's the price you pay for getting older, I guess. But I popped Terry's question up here on screen a little while ago and never got to it. So, Rob, I am thinking of moving from PC to Mac. Have you seen the new MacBook Neo? What do you think of Macs for editing YouTube videos? I think it would be better in sync with my iPhone. So I do have some thoughts on that, but maybe Liam, I'll let you answer that first, because I also switched from from a PC to a Mac 4 years ago now, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, and I struggled. I struggled with making that decision, and I think Liam remembers that because you already had a Mac at that point before I did.
Yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, Mac OS is the best operating system. And maybe some of you will not agree with that, but I think it's an objective truth. Mac is it is a better user interface, and it runs better, it manages RAM better. I think it's just better than Windows in every way. I can see why you'd want Linux for things, but for compatibility, like the Adobe suite, for example, can't run on Linux, and so you need Mac. I use Windows only because I play video games. But as for the MacBook Neo specifically, the interesting thing about the MacBook Neo is it basically it's the motherboard of an iPhone sitting inside the body of a laptop. It's running the A18 chip, I believe, which is
Yeah,
the chip from it might be the one in our phones, the iPhone 16.
yeah,
And it's really, really good. The corners they cut to make it cheaper is the trackpad is not as high quality, but still very good.
yeah,
And the screen is not as high quality, but still very good.
yeah,
But other than that, it seems like a great device. I will say how it benchmarks, though, it's comparable to a MacBook Pro from 2020. It
okay,
barely outperforms my MacBook Pro M1. So it
right,
does a little bit better than that, but like you got to remember, like that's 6 years ago.
yeah,
So if you're buying a computer today, do you want it to now? I say, do you want it to have the performance of a computer that's 6 years old? But in saying that, the M1 chip was insane at its time.
yeah.
So a lot to think about. But I don't know anything about editing on Mac though. That's gonna have to be a question for you though.
Yeah. What I actually watched a couple videos on the Neo, and a couple things jump out at me. I know Mac is better at managing RAM. I've heard that too. But I think the Neo, I don't even know if you can get 16 gigs of RAM in it. It's just 8,
Yeah.
which is not much. And the hard drive, you can either get 256 or 512 gigabytes. So there's not a whole lot of storage space. And also the USB-C ports on it are not Thunderbolt. So the speed at which it would read information off of an SSD or something would be not as good as it could be if it was like the MacBook Air. So the MacBook Air, I think, is around twice the price of the Neo now. I think.
I would go. So I'm helping my neighbor pick out a laptop actually.
Okay.
I would go refurbished MacBook Air. As long as it has an M chip of some sort in it, I'd aim for M3, M4.
Yeah.
M3 would be fine. You can grab an M. I saw an M3 at Staples today or a few days ago. I think it was 1,200 Canadian. Great
Okay.
deal, in my opinion,
So that'd be
because
about
you're
900
looking at
US.
almost. Sorry.
I just
Yeah.
most people here are in the States, so I just say that'd be
Right.
about 900
Yeah.
US.
Yeah, yeah. No, but yeah, no, I think MacBook Air, and if you really want to go crazy, go MacBook Pro. But yeah, you're definitely gonna want some RAM though, especially if you're using the Adobe suite. I was just editing. I had Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop all open at the same time, and 32 gigabytes was struggling.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's the one thing that if I were to upgrade anything about my computer, I know you can't really upgrade Macs, but it would be the RAM. That like the speed at which mine will render videos is great, but I typically have like 20 plus Google Chrome tabs open and 5 or 6 different apps all running at the same time, and I believe I have 32 gigs of RAM. And every once in a while, I'll get that message pop up that says, you're starting to run out of memory. So, yeah, RAM is a thing. With eight gigabytes of RAM, I think that would struggle to do much, unless
It
you're
would.
just doing very simple video editing.
I saw an interesting message here. It's not a question, but someone mentioned the terrifying environmental impact that AI is causing, water usage, and now the data centers are taking over, impacting sound, power grids, and the impact of chemicals on people who live nearby. And that is a very good point. The power usage in order to keep AI running at the rate that it's running, like the heat dissipation that needs to happen, the water cooling,
Yeah.
is insane. Like you had a gaming computer at one point and you had a
Yep.
graphics card in that computer and you probably felt how hot it can get when you're
Yep.
really pushing it. These AI machines, like these supercomputers, are like they'll be running 40 of those, just blasting, just redlining.
Yeah.
And there's like, I'm pretty sure there's a company, a startup right now that's planning to take AI computers to space so that
Yeah.
they can dissipate the heat in space.
Right.
Now that seems like that sounds that sounds easy because you can just do that, but like there's a lot of engineering that goes into dissipating heat in a place that has no air. Um,
Oh, I suppose.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely a very good point though. It's scary how much it's affecting the environment, and there needs to be regulation on it as soon as possible, in terms of how it's affecting the environment. Studies need to be done, on what's going on there, and yeah, I mean, I don't think you should not use AI with to respect the environment. Personally, you're not really going to make a difference. The computers are on anyway. Um, but it is important to think about, and it's something that respective governments need to take care of.
Yeah. I feel like, though, is it not a lot different than any other technology we've developed over time? Like, if you think back to, I don't know, when we first started burning whale oil for lighting in the 18 or 17, 1800s, I don't know when that was, but when we first started generating electricity with coal-fired plants primarily, which were very dirty, and there's still many of those around, but we do tend to get cleaner over time. Same with like
It's true.
cars and emissions, right? Like how bad were they when cars were first invented? Granted, there weren't as many of them, but same with AI. There's only probably going to get, there's going to be more and more of them. Presumably, we're just going to have to get better at the technologies to make it cleaner. And maybe that just
Yeah.
lags. I don't know. That just lags the actual
Well, it
technology.
does. It's usually like legislation, like governments requiring companies to meet certain criteria to continue, and
Right,
putting in strict guidelines. Otherwise, they would just go rampant, right?
right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and
just
that's what typically happens is you have to have a certain like CO2 rating, or however they do cars. I know the EU has special roads for certain CO2 certified vehicles. So like
okay.
that's why you don't see lifted trucks in the EU.
That's why you don't
But
see what? Sorry, lifted trucks.
lifted trucks, yeah, like giant pickup trucks lifted.
Oh, I see. Right. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. You see more of that in
Yeah.
the States and Canada.
Yeah,
Larger
just
vehicles.
less guidelines there in terms of protecting the environment and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's something to think about, but don't neglect AI because you'll be left behind, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Yeah, if especially if you suspect that you work a job where AI could potentially help you. Like I don't think there's any reason to not use it to protest against something. I mean, especially since like I mean, you could not pay for it to protest, but
Yeah.
just using it, I mean, it's free. So
All righty. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. So for those who are just joining, this is Liam, my over here, my son, and he is a software developer, and he's joined us today, and we're taking questions on AI, YouTube. We've been talking a lot about AI, though, haven't we? I guess
we have.
it's kind of everywhere now.
I keep seeing interesting messages about it, and I can't help but jump back on the topic. But
Oh, and that's totally fine. No, you're one of my biggest problems when I do these live streams is I'm unable to keep track of or answer everybody's questions, and trying to stay on top of the chat messages I find very difficult. So I've been trying to do it a little bit more. While you talk, I'm looking at it, and I guess when I talk, you can look at it. And yeah, if ever you see a question you want to answer, just start answering it.
it's a good problem to have. I can't say I have that problem on my live streams.
Well, I guess yours are different. Like, people show up here to ask questions. On yours, it's
That's
your
right.
friends hanging out with you, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, basically just them telling me how bad I am at the video game I'm playing, and then it's done for 5 minutes or so, and then they say it again.
Here's a question. Is there a way I can get good retention from my live streams? I'm just starting lives, and most people check in and out. I guess main thing I'll say there is, and it might sound obvious, but sometimes we need to hear it. You just have to keep it interesting for people. So what I've typically done is tried to be helpful for people, and the more helpful I am to people, the more they'll want to come back and get more help or ask more questions. So that's usually what I try to do with my live streams. So yeah, if you think along those lines, I think you might be able, and what it is, what do you make videos about? And maybe there's something in there that you can help people with. And if you approach your live streams in that way, maybe that will help. When I first started my live streams, they were all walking through demonstrations on how to do cool things with video editing. And that's kind of what my videos were about as well. So however you can apply that thinking to your niche might be a good place to start. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Liam.
No,
How do you keep people watching? How do you keep people watching live streams?
Well, there's an interesting point to be made about advertisements on Twitch. Anyway, I'm not sure how they work on YouTube, but on Twitch, if you can set the amount of advertisements that you run automatically while you stream. You can set the number of ads that run per hour. And if you set that too low, you will get something called pre-roll ads. So when someone opens up your channel to look at what you're streaming, they'll get smacked with an ad right off rip. And that is terrible for retention. They pull up, they see an ad, forget it, I'm going somewhere else. Yeah. So a trick on Twitch anyway is to raise the amount of ads that you're running per hour so that you can opt out of pre-roll ads, and that way they see you and what you're doing, and you can show to them why they should stay right away, and they don't have to wait through an ad break right before they see all of your content.
Okay, that's interesting. And yeah, it does work differently on YouTube. On YouTube,
okay,
if you are monetized, you have the option of monetizing your live stream or not. I recommend not monetizing it. I don't have this live monetized right now, because if it were, then we would be interrupted by ads. We wouldn't notice it, you and I, Liam, we wouldn't notice it, but those watching would, and they'd miss some of what we say.
I was going to say, I would absolutely do that on Twitch if I could, but they don't even let you.
Oh, really? Okay. Huh.
Yeah. And yeah, like the ad revenue you get from having 5 to 10 viewers as you stream, negligible, just nothing. So it's just a huge inconvenience. I would turn them off every day of the week.
I did an experiment many months ago now, it was last year, where I did turn monetization on for one of my live streams just to see what the difference would be. And what revenue might I be missing out on? And I did the math. See, what I normally do is I will turn monetization on when the stream is over. So when people want to watch it as a video on demand, the ads are there. But during an ad for a video on demand, I'm paused. Like the live stream is paused, so nothing is missed. That's the way YouTube does it. But no, I left it on for a live stream, and I did the math afterwards, and I think I might have made an extra $8 over 2 hours, averaging probably 150 people in the live stream, right? So, if you only get, say, 10 or 15, it would be 1/10 of that or whatever. So maybe 80 cents you'd be missing out on. So it's not a lot. And it, in my opinion, certainly not worth the hassle, that you're putting on people who are trying to watch you and being interrupted by ads. So not worth it, I don't think.
Try not to spend all that in one place.
Russ says, won't AI try to kill the guy watching the red light and anticipate him or her trying to pull the plug?
I saw a few people say that. They cracked me up. Yeah, AI will go for that guy first, the dude with the bucket of water.
Oh, my. Let's see. What else we got? What do you think about the talk of a UBI once AI takes over all repetitive jobs?
A UBI?
I was waiting for you to say something first because I don't know what a UBI is.
I'm Googling it.
Are you Googling it or are you
Universal
AIing
Basic
it?
Income.
What's that?
I see. I Googled it. Universal Basic Income.
Okay.
Yeah, so what was the question?
What do you think about the talk of universal basic income once AI takes over all repetitive jobs?
Yeah, I mean, this might be a hot take, especially if there's Americans here, but I think a perfect society has a universal basic income where robots do the slave labor and humans get to live their lives however they want.
Interesting.
Now,
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Not everyone's going to agree with that. No, I mean,
that sounds very
there's
dystopian.
ups and downs.
A dystopian future.
Yes. Dystopian indeed. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of struggling that happens for people in current society, and I don't think we've perfected it. Our current society, and I think there's room for improvement. And I think it would be silly to think we have perfected it. So I think a possible path to perfection, in for lack of a better term, would be making money off the robots. But given how it's already started, I don't see it realistically going that way, because the people with the money have the robots and they're going to turn them into more money. So it's not going to...
People with the money have the robots. Yes. Interesting.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
I saw a really good... what was it? It was a good saying. It was AI is a way to give... I don't want to butcher it. Never mind. It basically was saying that AI was replacing the common worker and giving what the common worker would provide to the upper class, giving it to the upper class for free while taking the lower class's job. Mm-hmm. So making things cheaper for the upper class and taking jobs from the lower class is what AI is effectively doing, and that seems to be the path that it's taking right now anyway.
Someone just said, and I think this is in response to your dystopian future, is that communism?
It effectively, it's a branch of it. Not exactly. It's one ideology within communism, probably. But maybe a hot take for our American viewers. I don't mean to. We're a little further left here in Canada. Not that far. All of us anyway. But no, I think it's worth exploring a society like that. I don't see. I mean, there'd be downsides the same way there are downsides to a common capitalism society, but you never know.
Yeah. No, I think you said it.
And you can use AI to simulate these societies and see how they'd hold up. Yeah.
I think you nailed it when you said, how did you put it? You said it'd be foolish of us to think that any of us have figured out the perfect society, anyways, at this point.
Well, you see a lot of people that are pretty hard set in, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and get your job and make your money, and capitalism will do the rest for you. And they I think they do think that that's the perfect way to run a society. And just given how long we've been running a society like that for, I think it would be a bit silly to think that that's perfect. But
Yeah, yeah, maybe a combo of socialism and communism. I don't even, is communism a form of socialism? Is that the way that works? I don't even know. I don't know.
yeah, we're getting into dangerous territory here.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, no, I think us in Canada, we in Canada are more, like you say, left,
more socialist,
or
yeah,
more lean toward the socialist side more so than in the United States. All right. What else we got here? I want to start live streaming to further my channel, not knowing anything about going live. How is the best to kick off a live stream? I would just say, just go for it. Have something ready to talk about, right? Have something ready to talk about before you go live. I personally like advertising your live before it happens, like in your videos. I would start by making I wouldn't start a channel with live streaming only. Like, I would make videos first and start making videos and then move into live streaming afterwards. And then you can use your videos to tell your viewers, hey, I'm going to go live starting 2 weeks from tomorrow or something like that, right? That's what I would do. And then just have something ready to talk about. And it could be something as simple as you want to review the last video you made. Maybe you want to talk about that, or go a little deeper on that, or ask people to show up and ask you questions about something. But yeah, a little bit of preparation. Just get ready to, but also be prepared to talk to nobody, because if you're just starting out, you may not have anybody show up to your live. And so be prepared for that, for not getting questions, and just be prepared to kind of carry the show by yourself. And it does get easier as people start showing up. Was that Liam?
No, I just saying I see a good question here.
Okay.
From Bootsy Rollins. Do you think Gemini/YouTube is trying to push ChatGPT out of its platform by demonetizing AI-heavy channels? That's a cool thought, and I hadn't thought about that before, but I don't think so, and you can probably speak to this too. I think that there is a genuine problem with what's referred to as AI slop, and just AI-generated content that provides no real value, and it overall degrades the value of YouTube itself as a platform when you have to siphon out all of this essential crap that's on your platform and taking up server space and not providing them any value or their customer any value. So yeah, no, I don't think that's the case, but that's a cool idea and not impossible.
Trying to push ChatGPT out of its platform. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And do they have a way of knowing if it was ChatGPT used to create videos?
Well, they own Gemini, and Gemini's not doing quite as well, so it's a good guess.
Yeah.
If it's not them, it's some other AI company. And I think they don't have great market share at the moment, but I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure they're doing quite well with their photo generation. I think they have a model called Banana or something.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Doing
Nano
really well.
Banana? Is it called Nano Banana? I thought.
Is that Gemini's? I don't know if that belongs to Gemini or not.
Let's see. The Frontline Man has a question. I deleted all my shorts from my channel as I want to focus on long form videos. 90% of my 1,300 subs are from shorts, and my long form don't do well. Should I start a new channel to refresh the algorithm? That's the question. I guess my first thought was, how long did it take you to get those 1,300 subscribers? Like, how new is that group of people? There is a chance that if you got them from shorts, that those viewers may not watch long form videos, and that's the danger of growing a channel through shorts first before long form. and it's also the reason why I think you should start with long form if that's eventually what you want to do, and then maybe use shorts every so often to help with your long form, not to go viral by themselves. I don't even think I would want one of my shorts to go viral, because then a good chunk of my viewers would expect more of those. So your question though, should you start a new channel? That's an option. You could, but instead of doing that right off the bat, what I might suggest is, just try a few things first with your long form. Just stop with the shorts for a while and focus on your long form videos and see what you can do with those. And if you don't feel like you can turn it around, then yeah, maybe start a new channel. The way to think of it is this: if you have a bunch of subscribers on your channel that don't want your long form videos, then yeah, maybe there's a better place to be putting your long form videos, on a different channel. So that's something to think about for sure. I would consider it, but I would probably try a few things first before I made that harsh decision. All right. I saw you grinning, Liam. Did you see another good question, or?
No, just chatters. Just reading the chats to myself. Not particularly any specific questions. We just got a 3 in a row, though. I don't know.
3 questions in a row? Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, wait, I did see this one a few times.
Yep.
How has your Sunday dinner conversations changed now that this commonplace is seated at the table? Does mom/wife get tired of it? Us talking about video stuff.
What was the question again? I didn't see it.
How has the Sunday dinner conversations changed now that we have the YouTube stuff in common?
I don't remember a time when we didn't talk about the YouTube stuff.
We've always had that in common, and
yes,
just tech in general. It's been an ongoing. Yeah, and I think she just tunes it out. Mom just doesn't even think about it, I don't think.
Pretty used to it.
Mm-hmm. Used to it indeed. Yep.
And Callie's fairly well versed in maybe not as much into YouTube as you and I, or the streaming and stuff like that, but she certainly knows her way around social media and
for sure
viewing habits of your generation. I had one popped up here. I am worried about my kids' and grandkids' future. I don't think AI will take over for another 10 to 20 years or more, in my opinion. Not really a question, I guess, but yeah, it's cutting edge technology and we don't really know where it's going, I guess. So valid to be concerned about it, which I think is all the more reason to kind of stay plugged into it a little bit and understand what it can do and what it is doing, and instead of just turning a blind eye to it. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I think about it.
I think it'll take jobs and it'll create jobs. I think it'll take more than it creates, but you never know, and it's hard to predict. It's hard to say, but there will be people working with AI as their job for the foreseeable future. Yeah. As it replaces jobs, but people will need to interact with the AI. People will need. It's a risk analysis problem. How much do you put on AI's plate, and how much do you trust AI to do what you need to do without human intervention? Yeah. So
I guess, again, if I were to think back to the 80s when I was in school, when people were worried about, computers taking over jobs, I think the jobs that humans do just kind of changed. Like maybe more people working on computers rather than being replaced by them. I remember specifically when I got to high school, one of the courses that typically the girls were taking and not so much the guys was typing. It was typing was a course that you would get credit for, and it was to become a secretary, presumably, right? But and a lot of the guys would think, well, I'm not going to be a secretary. I don't need to know how to type, right? Who doesn't need to know how to type today?
Yeah.
Like we all need to know how to type. Well, I guess we can dictate now into the phones or whatever, but
it's true. Right? Yeah, maybe people back then being worried about computers taking over jobs was just some very far out foreshadowing for this moment right now where AI is taking over everything.
Jeez.
Who knows?
Okay.
Might be a grim outlook on it.
Monkey Wrench is asking, do you honestly think AI has impacted your channel positively, monetarily? Could you have 100,000 followers without it? Um, that's a good question. I'd like to think I didn't need AI to do what I've done, but I will admit that I use it quite extensively for help with ideas, titles, and thumbnails. Now, if it wasn't an option, and it wasn't when I started, I came up with my titles all by myself in the beginning. But now it's a tool, right? Like I use it, it saves me time. I more quickly now come up with titles and the text for my thumbnails. Like I make my thumbnails in 5 minutes. And if it takes me longer, if it took me longer before, it was me coming up with, okay, what text should I put on the thumbnail? Whereas now I'm asking that question. It's just another, but I'm not blindly taking what it's suggesting to me, if that makes sense. Like I will ask AI for, I don't know, give me 10 possibilities for a title for this video. And we've been discussing ideas for the video, myself and ChatGPT. So based on our discussion, what do you think some good titles would be? And it'll give me suggestions. But ultimately, I make the decision as to which one I'm going to go with. And it may not be any of the suggestions. I might combine a couple, right? So yeah, I'd like to think the growth of my channel wasn't impacted that much by my use of AI, but I've never used AI to create videos. I've never used AI to create thumbnails. Nothing against people who do. It's just that's the path I've chosen. There you go. Excuse me. Oh, here's a follow-up question by Russell. Someone asked you if you could have gotten 100,000 subs without AI. I did it. You can do it. It's down to getting the basics right of making videos and publishing videos. Yeah, and I'll further that. I do think the most important thing is connecting with your audience. That's why, like typically when I coach people or in the Creators Growth Project, when I'm having our group talks, I'm not the type of person that would say, I'm not one to help people with faceless channels. Let's just say that. Or using AI tools to create AI videos. Like I'm not about that. My method means or is about putting yourself out there. Even though there's ways to make videos without putting yourself on camera, that's not the way. That's not my way. I think people value connection and connecting with creators that they like, and that being the main reason they want to come back and listen to you. So that's a little bit about my philosophy. So I would agree with you, Russell. You can absolutely do it without AI. It's just that AI's got some tools that make certain things a little bit easier. Let's see. Just see anything else interesting there? What time we got? We got 3:45, 3:45 Eastern time. How you doing for time, Liam? We got another 15 minutes?
Sure, absolutely. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, we can do this some more if you want to come back, if you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you think AI is headed for content creators over the next few years, and what will actually add real value versus just filler? I think not to beat a dead horse, but I think avoiding using AI for content creation and more use it to enhance what you are creating. So for example, I see AI really excelling in analyzing your long-term content and breaking it up into shorts that you can just blast onto social media, looking at the parts of the video that had high engagement, for example, on YouTube, and clipping those and posting those on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, whatever. Just the really mundane stuff is what I personally see AI being best at, and letting you continue to do what you enjoy doing, assuming you enjoy making the videos. Maybe people don't. But there's also, I think right now it's easy to tell when content is AI generated or YouTube videos are AI generated.
Yeah.
It gets a little difficult with like the deep fake stuff. But if someone's making like an AI generated tier list, funniest moment, like something like that, I think it's like, okay, this is sloppy. And
Yeah.
same with I don't know. I don't know about I'm mixed on thumbnails. I don't
Yep.
know. I feel like you could use them if you want to use them.
Yep.
AI for thumbnails. Um, it depends on the content, I'd say. Depends on the
Yeah.
content. I don't think it would work for me, but you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And same with me. I don't think it would work for me, the thumbnail thing, mainly because my content is me telling people you don't have to, you can very
Hmm.
easily make a thumbnail without AI. So why not do that? I mean, actually, having said that, there are things within Canva, which is the tool I use to make thumbnails. There are AI tools within Canva. Like for
Mm.
instance, background remover. They use an AI thing to remove the background, and I use that to remove myself from the background and boost the brightness of myself if I wasn't in the sun, for example, without, you know what I mean? So there are things like that. Little tiny little AI tools are going to start showing up in all kinds of software.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have it in Photoshop as well, the background remover, and
Okay.
um, yeah, I use that sometimes, but I'm very used to like penning it out. That's what I've always done.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's getting really good though. It's getting to a point where you don't need it, but I've seen it still make mistakes here and there.
Yeah.
I find Apple's really falling behind on the AI game. They're not doing so well. Um, like their generative fill in iOS is not super good.
Which one is
I've
that? Sorry.
Apple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that they've been slacking in the AI department a little bit.
Okay.
Their AI product, AI, Apple Intelligence,
Uh-huh.
greasy move.
Yeah. Someone put a lot of thought into that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw one here. Do you think AI will significantly increase the homeless population in first world countries? That's a deep question. I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
think
I think it's
like
beyond me. Maybe
uh,
you've got the answer,
it
Liam.
depends. Like they could set up like AI farms in third world countries where you might get tax breaks or something along those lines. I don't know how it all works, but you would need people to manage those, but you would also probably be dozing buildings that are there to put the farms there. I don't know. I know Amazon plopped a giant warehouse. Oh God, I forget the country now. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's still going to have the effect of taking jobs and giving jobs. Um, I don't see how AI is going to provide people with homes right now. I see AI providing CEOs with bigger homes,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
see how AI is going to help homeless people. I do not think it will.
Yeah. Actually, what he said was, will it significantly increase the homeless population in first world countries? Like, I think he means like the U.S.,
Oh,
Canada.
first world, first world. Oh, I see. That is a good question. I don't, trying to think. I mean, if it's taking jobs from people and those people aren't able to get new jobs, that is a one-way ticket to homelessness right there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of these questions, it's hard to tell, and it's hard to know what will happen there. I'd say that's more of a question for a economist or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
someone that's studied
Or
these highs and lows of
or a
our
futurist.
economy and how money moves. A futurist, yes.
Is your Canva a paid version? Mine is. I have the paid version. And the thing I mentioned earlier about background removal or remover, that AI tool within Canva is only available in the paid version. So yeah, it's like anything. Like you get more and better tools with the paid version than the free version. But you can totally use the free version to create thumbnails. It's just a few extra things you wouldn't get. But for 90% of the people out there making thumbnails, the free version is all you need.
See a
Uh,
question here.
yeah.
Would Liam consider doing AI basic overview chat for us older folks in a future live stream, leaning towards good usage for YouTube creation? And to that, I would say honestly, Dad, you're a better fit for that job. I'd say you make YouTube videos every day, and you're probably using AI in certain ways. I could do that maybe with coding, but I just rendered my first YouTube video in a year, and I am looking at the blank description and blank title. So I'm
Oh, not sure
about
what
to
to.
go use AI
Yeah.
to generate something, or just to come up with ideas. I have my own ideas, and I'll run them by a couple different models. And that's another thing on the same topic. Use multiple AI models. Like you use. I don't know if people here know the YouTuber PewDiePie. He was the record holder for the longest time for most subscribers. He built a supercomputer, which cost him a lot of money, ran a bunch of different models and gave them philosophical questions and had them debate over it. He basically built a council of different AI models to refine answers down to what they all could agree on. And I think that's a really interesting idea, and you should apply it in real life. Like, use as many models as you can and compare the answers and see what you like best for everything. Anyway,
Interesting.
tangent.
Yeah, tangent, but I should take you up on that advice too. I should, because and at some point I will. I'll try the other ones, see which one I like best. I've just kind of set in my ways, as a lot of older
Well,
people
it's
tend
just
to
for
be.
those who are asking about which is better. Like
Yeah,
if you're satisfied with one giving you, because I mean a lot of it's mundane. Like you don't need a council of philosophers to help you with your description,
yeah,
but you like if you're not sure which one you should be using,
yeah,
use as many as you can and have as much information as you can to work with, and then make the decision based on your own opinion.
yeah. I'll tell you what I do as far as the description and the tags and those other things you want to fill in. And actually, Liam, if you're about to do this, this is what I do. Because I don't think the description and the tags are that important, I first have the conversation with Chat GPT on the title, or I'll just settle on a title. I could even just say, I'm going to go with this title. The video's about this, this, and this. Can you write me a 1 to 2 sentence description? And it does. I copy it and I paste it in. That's all I do for the description. Now, in my case, I have a default description because I have affiliate links and links to my courses and stuff like that in there as well. So that's a good place to put your description. If you have a lead magnet that you want people to be able to download and you capture their email, stuff like that, you'd want to put in your description. But you can put that in the default settings for your description. And then when you upload a new video, the default's there. And like in my case, at the very top, I just have written in my default, put description here. And whatever I get from ChatGPT, I copy it and I paste it. And I don't even give it a second thought. It's a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what at least what the title is. So it usually gets it close enough. I'll give it a quick read, and then I'll do the same thing with tags. Actually, I do it in one prompt. Based on this conversation about what my video is about, give me a 1 to 2 sentence description and a list of tags no more than 500 characters, comma separated. That's what I do. And then I copy paste, done. Because I don't think the tags
sounds like you
matter.
have a flow.
Yeah, yeah. You just you get used to it, and yeah. Test AI versus your own titles and see what wins. I've done that. I mean, I have done so with YouTube. You can enter 2 or 3 different titles, and they can be A/B tested, right? I don't
I
know.
thought that was only thumbnails. You can do that with titles now?
Yeah, it was thumbnails at first,
Oh.
but since
Okay.
I want to say it was last fall, they started allowing you to do that with titles now as well. So up to 3. And yeah, so the way it'll just kind of cycle through them when you upload your video or when you post your video when it goes public, and it'll test them all and it'll give you a percentage back as to which one's winning, and that percentage is based on the watch hours or the watch time that each one is resulting in, which is interesting. It's not necessarily based on which one's getting clicked more; it's which one is resulting in more watch time.
Well, the watch time is what is monetized, is what is a more direct correlation to the earnings rather than click rate, right?
Kind of. I think watch time is a better indication that the title is doing what you want it to do. I mean, what you get monetized on is primarily the views, how many views you get. Um, but also, if the video is longer than 8 minutes, then they can put mid-roll ads in there as well. So the longer they watch, the more mid-roll ads. You could make more money that way. But ultimately, think about it the way YouTube thinks about it. They want people to stay on and watch your videos for as long as possible. So the longer people are watching your videos, the more YouTube will put them out there, and maybe suggest another one of your videos as what to watch next and things like that. So yeah, the watch time is important in that respect. If they just measured clicks, I can see people maybe gaming the system. Like if you make an obviously clickbaity title that has nothing to do with what the video is about, but it got people to click, I feel like people would click a video like that, and once the video starts playing and they understand that's not what they wanted, they'll leave. So in that case, you might get a higher click-through rate, but lower retention, and it's the retention that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Now I forget what the question was.
I don't know if you put it up on the thing.
Oh, I might
I
not.
don't think
I
you
might
did.
not have. Here's another question for both of you. What's the next step in AI, like the development of digital tech and the chip? I assume AI will take quantum leaps. Where do you think it's going as a technology? I might have to defer to you, Liam. What do you think? What's next?
Yeah, so right now they're putting most of their eggs into the basket called Open Claw. And what that is basically giving AI full control over your entire computer and have it do everything that you would use your computer for. So no more touching the mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
So you
That's
would tell it what to do, it would go and do it. So now you're talking AI video editing, AI Photoshop, AI whatever you're using on your computer, get AI to do it. At first, it was what were they called? Connectors or apps, or I forget. But there were integrations, so you can integrate AI with your Excel spreadsheets and have it do Excel things for you. Or you could integrate it with a different program. But OpenClaw is here's my computer. Go trade on the stock market using this strategy and make me $1 million. Which people have tried and it fails, by the way. So don't do that. But
Don't do that.
I saw it lost a guy like 30K. So yeah,
Oh,
avoid
wow.
that for right now. Yeah.
Can Liam suggest the best beginner AI, or did I miss this, for help with creating our channels, pictures, video editing, etc.?
I would say ChatGPT is the most friendly to use. Claude stops you sooner to charge you money versus ChatGPT does not. It just switches you to a weaker model. Yeah, don't think about it too much. Just ChatGPT, give it a go, and see how you like it. Just remember that ChatGPT, there's a slight positive bias. It's going to be a bit of a yes man. It's going to
Yeah.
say, it's going to, yeah. But you can tell it not to be. You can say, some people have told me you're a yes man. Don't do that, and it'll try not to. So,
Yeah.
just communicate clearly what you want from it. And it can probably help you. Now you will be limited on image generation on ChatGPT. I
Yeah.
think you get 8 or 10 messages on their best model 5.3. I think it's GPT 5.3. So you can only generate about 5 pictures before it'll say, "All right, you're done for today."
Okay. Okay. And I've never used ChatGPT to generate images. That's just not something I do. So yeah, I can't really comment on that. But yeah, I can certainly confirm that ChatGPT is a yes man, and it does get a little bit tiring sometimes, where the first line is always, "You are so right to be thinking along those lines at this point," and you know what I mean. Just great question, Rob.
Pumping your tires.
Pumping your tires. That's
Um,
right.
oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Shoot. Oh, it's gone. Never mind. All right.
Someone says they're using Grok. Anyone else know of this one? Grok.
Grok's funny because the way Grok works is that's Elon's model, and that one you can at Grok on Twitter just in the middle of a conversation and just say at Grok, is this guy telling the truth? And it'll just say no. this guy's completely lying through his teeth. And you can like start a thread below someone's tweet. And just have is basically a fact checker whenever you want to use it. Now, how accurate the fact checker is questionable, and there's some questions about, if there's maybe some strings being pulled on the other end, given
Right.
some connections there, some political connections there, not to get too far into the deep end on that one, but no, Grok is hilarious on Twitter. I wouldn't use it for anything else other than literally using it on Twitter, but teach their own.
Cool. I had not heard of it. I think I've heard of it. I didn't know it was Elon Musk's.
Yeah. So it's baked right into Twitter. So like imagine someone tweets and says, the king said the sun's going to explode tomorrow. Someone responds to that tweet and says, at Grok, is this true? An AI bot called Grok responds to that saying, no, there was no press conference held with the king talking about the sun exploding tomorrow or whatever, right? So
Okay.
you just see a lot of politicians get caught with their hands behind their back a little bit,
Okay.
with their pants down. With that one, it's funny. It's good fun, but no, I would honestly, I'd stick to ChatGPT, Claude, even Gemini. If I don't know if Gemini has a free level, but ChatGPT is my official recommendation, especially if you're newer and trying to just use it to generate titles. And yeah.
Okay. Over 50 Wellness Hippie says, it's my understanding that ChatGPT can't read YouTube video analytics or comments. So how does it know which titles, thumbnails, and descriptions perform best? That for me?
I think that might be for you.
Yeah. So, no. I don't know that it knows what title is best. It's basically, no, you're right. It doesn't analyze your analytics. If you want something to analyze your analytics, I haven't done anything with this, but Gemini, like Liam mentioned, Gemini, it's built into YouTube Studio, and you can ask it questions, and perhaps see, if you like their title suggestions better. So, no, when I ask ChatGPT on suggestions for titles, it's not like you have to take their answers with a grain of salt. It's not plugged into my channel. All it is listening to the questions I had been asking it, and I'll tell it, I want to make a title, or I want to make a video on this, and I'm thinking, here are 3 bullet points I want to talk about. Can you give me suggestions for a couple other bullet points? Can you help me with an opening line hook and things like that? So that's kind of the way I use it. And then when I'm finished and I've got my framework ready for my video, and I have a working title that I probably came up with, I'll then say, okay, so my working title is this. Can you give me some alternate suggestions that might be better titles? So it's not going to necessarily, it won't guarantee that any of its suggestions would be better, but it will give me suggestions, and it'll tell me why it thinks they're better. But then it's up to me to decipher that and to make an educated decision on what to go with. So that's the way I use it. But in saying all that, perhaps I should give Gemini a shot and see what it comes up with. Let's see. We've gone past 2 hours, so maybe we should just say another 5 minutes or so. See if there's any final. Oh, here's one from Scott. Rob, have you checked out the AI that is built into YouTube Studio? Oh no, I just talked about this. The Gemini icon. It does know stats and info about your channel and videos. Any insight on that? No, but I will have insight on that because that's something I got to get into. I just have not yet. But
I'll check it out too.
What's that? You're going to check it out too? There you go. Yeah.
Someone just said your hair is good, Liam. They saw me fix my hair.
Yes. What
Can't be
about my
too
hair?
careful. Yeah. Yeah. I like to enjoy mine while it lasts. I'm pretty sure my my hair is well on its way to having my father's hairline there. So I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
Got it.
Oh, here's a question for the chat, actually. And I thought it was very interesting. The older generations, do you guys know any men with curly hair at that age? Or is that just curly-haired men are bound to not have hair? Do you know anyone in their 60s with curly hair? A man.
Older guys with curly hair.
Like, I'm pretty sure people with curly hair just have to go bald. It's
So is
just,
that what
it
you're
doesn't
concerned
happen. They
about?
don't keep their hair. Yeah, my hair is curly and I'm pooched. I think I'm done. That's
That's a
it.
good question. I don't know. I can't think of anybody. I
If
mean,
you
your
guys know
grandfather
anyone,
Skipper, he's got curly hair, and he still has
does
a
he?
lot
Oh, I
more
guess
hair
it's
than I
just
do.
short.
Huh?
Okay. I guess it's just short.
It's just really short, but it was quite curly.
Okay, giving me hope. That's good.
Yeah, and he's in his 80s, so there you go. And he's got more hair than I do.
Good.
Dom says none without a wig.
Maybe AI can fix my hairline.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
We'll have to get a trip to Turkey once our YouTube channels really take off.
The diabetic walker says I have long curly hair. There you go. Trip to Turkey.
Okay.
Yes, okay, I heard that. We know a man in his 70s with thick curly hair. You're safe, Liam. Bob Ross.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody.
Bob Ross
Good.
had curly hair.
Oh, Bob Ross, right. Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Bob Ross. He had great hair.
Yeah, and his was dark too. He had to dye that. It must be dyed because he was older, wasn't he?
Maybe.
When he was
Yeah,
famous.
I think his beard was lighter than the hair on his head.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, he doesn't know of anybody. Russ. Oh, yes, I know a few. LOL at Bob Ross. Well, you know what? I think we better put a pin in this because it's getting late, and we're going to go out and get some wings, aren't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was fun. Thank you, Liam, for doing this. I hope you had fun doing this too.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It's been fun.
Yeah, some tough AI based and almost got a little political, a little bit questions.
Almost. We dipped our toes in the water there. Got to be careful about that.
But it's all good. We don't get too serious here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want me to have Liam back. You can send me an email if you don't want to tell him to his face. But yeah, we'll do this again. If anyone wants to check out Liam's channel, if you're into gaming and what is it you're doing reviews? What are you doing on your channel again? Gaming equipment reviews?
Yeah, I'm doing tech reviews and tech how-tos. A bit lower level stuff, server management stuff at the moment, but I'm kind of exploring it right now, just trying to find my niche. So a YouTube video is going up pretty much right after this live. So if anyone's interested in checking it out, you can see what my YouTube's looking like after a year-long break.
Cool. Awesome. And someone just said, are you in the same house, just different rooms? No, we're about 30 minutes apart. Liam's in Halifax. I'm out in rural 30 minutes away. So no, I don't think we'd be able to do this in this house because my upload speed isn't good enough to stream to 2 different places at once.
The bandwidth would be pooched, I think.
Yeah,
that would be it.
I think I need 6.5 to stream at 1080p, 6.5 megabits per second. And we get 16,
Okay.
but they say you should have a good 40% buffer. So that might be tough.
Pushing
This
Yeah.
works.
This works.
All right, Liam, thanks again. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. See you next week. Same time, same place. Have a good one.
See you, folks.